Welcome back to the Greenfinch Project. Now, this session lasted about 22 minutes, and so I decided it would be a good idea to see all of it, but in compressed time. So it's been sped up to show you how I've been rendering the primary feathers of the Greenfinch. You can see a paper stump there, blending the tones to a sort of um, even tone, and the rubber is being used to modulate the tone, because even within the feathers there's a variety of tone uh, within each of these feathers. The edges, the leading edges of the feathers, I have been trying to draw in a kind of broken way, because if you look at the reference photo or you look at the birds in close up, you can see that the edges are very raggedy. It's where the ends of the barbs sort of taper off, and so I wanted to give that kind of illusion of being broken. You can see it here where I'm lifting the pencil. It's not a continuous line I'm creating, and what I'm doing with those flicks is I'm creating little V-shaped tears within the feathers to show where they haven't been preened into a smooth continuous membrane. They're sort of frayed a little bit, and so that's why I'm using this kind of flicking motion to kind of show that the individual barbs of the feathers, which are actually like hairs, are rendered sort of individually. Here I am trying to build up tone using the embossing tool and the pencil held at an oblique angle to pick up the peaks but avoid the troughs, and then I go back in with the pencil to try and fill some of the troughs to create that kind of raggedy effect. And I want to unify it, so you'll see me going in with the paper blending stump. Now I'm darkening the tones under the leading edge of the wing, on the underbelly of the finch towards the flank. The tone I didn't feel was quite right, and yet I'm leaving a long patch. And as you notice, I'm not following the line of the wing, like colouring in a line. I'm trying to shade away from the edge onto the flank there. And there, just building up the tone a little bit, but trying not to draw a straight line or a continuous line. Okay, again building up tone, because as I work on the piece I'm discovering that as the tone builds up in other areas, it reveals deficiencies in various other areas. Here, or just back a second ago, I was using the pencil flat in a kind of very oblique manner, but doing a sawing motion to create those ragged feather effects on the back. Again, the tone didn't please me completely, and so I went back in with a blending stump, again to try and unify and yet separate out all the individual feathers. It's a detail that I just really enjoy getting into. It's one of the reasons that birds are so interesting for me. It might be true for you, but I like those details and I like the challenge that that presents. Not every area has feathers created, so I've tried to blend in areas just to fill in the gaps. Now, I can see that our video is coming to a close quite soon. So you can see that I used the embossing tool there to suggest where the secondary feathers are going to be, and I'm beginning to build in texture. So Thanks again for joining me on this extra long and yet surprisingly short episode, because these voiceovers are very time consuming, and I think you've got the gist of this session in the most convenient form. I do hope you've learned something and it inspires you to go off and do some art yourself. Thanks for watching.